Action items, 5-1, review, discussion, and possible action by the board following a presentation by Bob Hawkins, a business intermediary and consultant who is possibly bringing a chicken restaurant and an upscale convenience store and what possible washateria to the Crump Shopping Center. Mr. Hawkins may also discuss other potential businesses to be brought to Lone Star. Mr. Hawkins requested traffic count information, which has been provided to him. Bob, the floor is yours.
Oh, you don't mind if I sit?
No,
I'm an old football player, my knees are all bad.
I can relate to that.
that's what you get for playing football.
Well, at least it was in Texas.
Look at all the girls you got.
Huh?
Look at all the girls you got.
Y'all remember Hayden Fried at SMU? That's how long ago that was. First of all, who am I? Because you don't know who's talking to you. I've lived in Gilmer, Mineola, Longview, Tyler. You might say I know the area. Equipment. I am one of the original co-owners of the Grandma's Fried Chicken franchises in East Texas and North Oklahoma. I was the one that wrote the O&P manual and the franchise guidelines. I did that as a participant. Wasn't a major owner, but that's what I charged them. I've worked for 8 different national franchises in fast food. My family's owned 41 convenience stores, grocery stores, and restaurants in the state of Texas since 1963. We started on the coast, Freeport, Missouri County, where the hurricane hit, where all my relatives live. Thank you, they're probably doing good because I know you're wondering about it. They all got 4, 5, 6, 7 foot of water in their places, but they're making it out. I have built 8 convenience stores in South Lake, Grapevine, Colleyville in the 90s. I got divorced and I sold out all my stock and went to East Texas, did hospice care of my father, and haven't done a thing since 2000. I've got an itch. You can't make no money putting your money in the bank. It's not looking for investment possibilities. I know Chris very well that owned Crumps. Y'all can blame me, I sold it for him over there. So I know a little bit about your town. I remember you when I was in Gilmer, y'all had great baseball teams over here. I used to coach the little kids, teenagers and stuff.
That must have been you, Mitch.
Let's say what?
He said that must have been me, but I don't know.
That was a while back.
I don't know how old you are, Bob, not asking. I'm 67.
What I did is I looked at what Chris was doing, and the owner of that place, Bill Nunez, contacted me, and he doesn't have a clue what to do on filling it or whatever. And I really don't want to mess with it. But I told him I'd sell the place, and as I started looking around, I noticed that y'all have, what I explained to Andy, y'all have significant shrinkage in retail. Shrinkage can be measured, like I was telling Andy, I've done this a lot for over the years as a consultant. It's the amount of sales tax that is assigned to each retail establishment compared to the demographics and the population of other similar type of municipalities. And then you can see where you're lacking. My eyeball tells me you're lacking in food. You're also lacking in a convenience store. And if the rumors are true, that spring market leads, you're going to be lacking there too. I don't know if I can help you on that with Crumps, because that requires a place. Chris used 10,000 square feet. But what I can do, because I work for Bonanza, I own Popeye's Fried Chicken franchises, and I work for KFC, and I own the Grandma's, so I know chicken like the back of my hand. We propose the liquor store is going to go. It's just too many of them in town. I did go talk to the other owners, the guy down here at the new one, another one, that's a foreign gentleman, and try to see if I could consolidate them. They weren't reasonably willing to talk about it. Or the numbers I got says it wasn't reasonably willing to talk about it. That was a proper thing to do, because that's good revenue for the sales tax for the town, really. I saw only 2 little small convenience stores that are not what I call top of the line. I propose to put a restaurant on the end cap where the convenience store is. I mean, where the
Liquor
liquor
store.
store is, because it's got a drive-up window. Bring it up to code, put the grease traps in, everything. The thing about my restaurants and chicken, I'm old school. There will be no cans opened and poured into a pot and warmed up, sticking out front. Mashed potatoes, gravy, I still use a double boiler with a pound of butter and milk to make your cream gravy. White pepper, dark pepper, a little bit of salt. Y'all remember all those recipes?
Yeah.
That's the way you make cream gravy. You don't open up the package and add water. It doesn't work, you know.
You make it like mama made it.
Yes, exactly. And I'm a cook. I'm old. My mom's German, so give me a smoker, I'll go crazy. But in any case, there's no place for that. Convenience store be proposed is next door to it. Right now, I'm looking at about 3,000 square feet. Convenience, the restaurant's about 1,800, roughly. I was gonna put a food service in there, just something, a quickie, but I decided not to, because I was gonna look at Chipotle, and I think you get a better Mexican type of service from the wagon. So I went and talked to her. She said she's talked to a bank. She's willing to look at putting her place into the center,
Excellent.
Come to work?
into the center.
Okay.
Do
She
away
needs
with
help.
trailer.
I have a guy who will buy the center as an investor with me. So if that happens, I can help her. You know, I can build it out and let her pay it back through the rent over a period of time. But she's not very financially where I want to be on something like that. But we can work out something. We can get it done. I think that would be a great place for about a 2,500 square foot place that seats about 100, 150 people for what she does, and it doesn't kill her on there for the rent and everything. So, and also the laundromat, already got a list of all the equipment. Maytag's coming in and doing an evaluation study right now. I'd rather buy it used because that's not my forte, but I'm not mechanically inclined, but my GC is, my general contractor. He wants to play on that too. I have a lot of people that I know that bring in. So I see y'all having a laundromat, Mexican restaurant, a convenience store, and the restaurant all in that one center, but I need some help from the city and the DOT. Bad help. We need a
Why do
cut.
you say, Bob, why do you say bad help? I mean,
Because
are
of
you
jurisdictional-
anticipating some friction from the DOT?
Yeah, DOT could cause us some problems. I need a cut in the middle of that property. Instead of feeding off that side road and that one cut by the filling station right here, what you're doing is creating a quagmire for trucks dropping off goods, for customers coming in there. And a convenience store can't exist unless they have a gas product to compete with to draw the customers in. I'm going to propose to put up 3 MPDs. I'll angle them slightly like this, so it feeds from here out, and then they can come right out that front gate. Or they can come in the front and pull right on in like that and go out the side. This is a good flow pattern. You gotta look at the ingresses and egresses. But the DOT may fight it because it's a state highway. And back when I was doing this in 2000 and earlier, the city had jurisdiction. We're talking about that. But there's some, maybe that's not true now. I don't know. We need to look that up. I need a cut in the middle of that to make that gas work, or my gas distributor won't put it in. I got a gas distributor, it's $300 and something thousand to put gas in. And what I do is I split that with him on profit from the pumps. And that way, I can never be underpriced, and I don't have to worry about the competition on repairs and stuff like that. In case down the road, I sell the place, you know.
Will you have a diesel, be able to provide diesel too?
Just truck diesel. You know?
I mean,
Yeah,
for
you'll have-
diesel pickups.
Yeah, that's it. You
You know, I
can do
just
that.
traded off the diesel pickup because I got tired of looking for diesel around here.
You can do that, and the way we're gonna do this, we go right between those poles and we angle those islands through there. A trailer or a large truck can come in there and whip right back out. I have horses, so I know about moving trailers around. So I look at it that way too. That's a good thing to do. We can fight the DOT on this, but I'd rather be friendly. The last time I did this was in Diboll, and that was in 2004. With Polk Oil Company, that's behind me over there before they sold out to Brookshire's. Carl Ray and me looked at putting in a travel center on the north side of Diboll, and they would not give me a cut. So I called a meeting, and I brought in Kay Bailey Hutchinson's office and John Cornyn's office. I brought in Todd Staples. I brought their offices in there, and when they went into that meeting, he backed me back out, pulled him back in the hallway. He said, "You're gonna get what you want, but it's your fault if anybody gets killed." And I said, "Oh, hell no, it's your fault." Put a light up at that intersection on the north side of town. And they didn't want to do that, but we pressured them into doing that too, because the city couldn't afford it. So what we did, I agreed to pay for the $175,000 for the light back then, based on getting abatements from the city for 3 to 5 years on taxes on my property. And that the state, when they reimburses the city, it comes back to me and pays me back my $175, which should have been taken about 3 years. There's ways to do these things like that, and I'm knowledgeable on it. Andy told me that y'all would like to have a truck type place, where these trucks all coming through here, 400 plus count, can fill up. I've looked through your town, it's very difficult to find where your location can be. Very difficult. I told Andy I only saw one location, and that might be difficult because there might be several owners through that area, right? But I know that Bill Nunez owns this building right up here at the light. You know what I'm talking about, shuttered up.
The little strip center?
Yeah.
Strip mall,
With the red roof.
From there, go all the way back to almost to the street here, there's your truck stop. If y'all could get the landowners to work together to come up with a reasonable price, I can get you an investor to do that.
Is the city, how far does
The
the city
city
own
owns
from
part
it?
of that.
City
Yeah.
does?
Do they
Yeah.
own it up back to the back of Mr. Muniz' property, Carl?
Yeah, I mean, look at where the coal mix is
You're
dumped.
gonna have to move your little storage shack back
If
here.
someone makes a contribution for the fire department to build another storage thing, we'll build another storage thing.
I'm trying to figure out ways y'all could get new businesses and get new revenue. That's a pretty easy one. 400 trucks, stacking, looked at the numbers on that. I found out that a lot of those 400 are repeats, going back and forth.
Talking about getting this cut at the shop center where you keep talking about the state, is that totally up to the state? I mean, this is
It
US
wasn't back in my
US
day.
259, it's a US highway that comes through here, but of course, I don't know.
The office out of Atlanta, I think Highway Department.
Well, I know that, I know the state office, I'm just talking about it's a US highway, does the state take care of the US highway too? Or will we have to get permission from the United States?
Let me interject.
Sure.
I had a traffic survey done first part of September for just trucks.
460?
2,185 trucks in a 5-day period.
Oh, yeah, I'm talking about per day.
Per day?
That's right.
Yeah, about 400 a day, you're
Uh-huh.
right.
The car count's a little over 6,000.
Well.
That's good.
I have sent these numbers to not knowing that you were interested
Sure.
in a truck stop. I think everybody here agrees that would be a definite plus. We're a trucking town.
You're a blue collar town.
We had the highest number of trucks in one day was 473. That's flatbeds, reefers, dry boxes, dump trucks, tanker trailers, and that does not include pulpwood or lumber.
Sounds like most of it's short haul.
Most of it's long haul.
Is it?
Yes.
So,
Just, yeah, that's my background is trucking.
I remember me talking about it.
One other thing you might want to look at is there is a defunct or bankrupt or whatever gas station right there on the corner of 250 and 259.
Yeah, a price has been given to me on that.
I was going to say, they may think a whole lot of that place for something that's not producing any.
There's a problem with that place.
Yeah.
You realize that there's an old truck stop here.
No, where?
They call it the booze station. That's an old
Liquor
truck
store.
stop.
That liquor store you talked to.
Called the booze
Okay.
station, that was a truck stop years ago.
Yeah,
There
it
was
was
a
too many
scale
years ago that they pulled the
right in
tank.
front of there.
Well, based on 400 plus count of trucks, I was thinking you need a facility that's gonna park at least 50 to 100
Well,
trucks.
there's property right that's adjacent to it, isn't there?
That's where the
They
eight.
do, yeah, they do park, they park at the Exxon station around that corner, and they park in that vacant lot north of the booze station. So they kind of de facto have a little trailer park there, but it's, you know, it's just roll your own kind of
Those
thing.
rolling hills kind of make it tough to get 5 to 7 acres contiguous.
Yeah,
That's, if you could find a contiguous property, someplace to do it. If it's narrow, it's gotta be deep. And there, you want, since you got trucks, you know what the parking needs to be. Think of Love's. They're typically a 5-acre thing, they can park 40 plus 50 trucks in there.
Oh. You're right. Oh.
Mitch, where's those figures at for the trucks per day? Oh, you got, we sent in our packet.
No, I didn't give those out last time,
Oh,
but
okay.
I'll give you a copy.
I'm sorry, I just kept looking.
That, Bob, that's very interesting on top of what else you're talking about.
Now, I'm not gonna own that, I just know who would do it.
Yes.
People.
That was one of the targets that we had with the council, is to try to get a truck stop in here.
And he was very
My
kind to
ex-
come down, and spend a couple hours with me and talk with me a couple of weeks ago.
My ex-trucking company, my son runs right now, and I'm solid about 4 miles out of town here, and they do probably 90% of their fuel purchases, tire purchases with Love's Truck Stop all over the country.
But
And
they got that deal, I can't beat that.
See that, no, well, it's a deal where they hedge their fuel,
And rebate it.
yeah, and, but they're not restricted to where they buy that. And,
So your company made that deal?
yeah,
If I knew what that deal was, I could calculate what my margins would be. And you could tell me the average fill rate.
I can get that for you.
And then I could tell you if that would work, if I could compete, and at least match it, you know.
Did you ever check that property across from where Jeremy Pilgrim lives, that Bass is on?
No, I have not.
I'm glad that you had trucks, so if you do see some property you think's good, how many trucks do you think need to be parked overnight? Because they're gonna.
Based on, I've lived here in Lone Star, or the Lone Star area since 1957, and we used to have up here, with this property we're talking about, a very, very active truck stop. I mean, it was, a lot of trucks came through there. Overnight stays,
Pretty much.
not that many. It's.
Because a lot of them live here.
well, when they park the truck overnight, I would guess there's somewhere 15 to 25.
I'd say 25 to 30 trucks parked there at any given time would be a lot, because most of them, there's no place for them to eat unless they are able to get to your place. A lot of them come in here overnight, during the night, and they stop, fuel up, and they're gone. This is a pipe trail from Houston to eastern Oklahoma, eastern Kansas, Arkansas, and when those trucks come through here, they don't have time, they're not looking for a place to spend the night. They're looking to get fuel and get on, continue on their route.
Can I change their habits some?
Yeah,
And
now,
you
For example, Cox Logistics, my son's company, we've got right at 100 trucks, and we're the largest domiciled carrier here in town. At one time, we had 58 trucking companies that were domiciled here,
Good.
and that was a very active truck stop. But even Cox Logistics today, if they load here today, they've got to be somewhere in the morning, and they're not spending the night here. Now, the other restriction that we've got is that there possibly could be more, but we have no place for the driver to spend the night. And if they, for example, on Fridays, I saw it this weekend, Cox Logistics had a big order they were starting to load today. So they started marshaling their trucks back in here, rerouting them through here so they could load. There were Cox trucks sitting on the yard, there were Cox trucks sitting in Dangerfield, and there were Cox trucks sitting here. They had like a 30 truck order they loaded today, and these drivers don't live here.
Now, let me ask you, if we built a place and we could park 50-plus trucks, somebody's in that situation, when they're waiting to get into line, they could come over there, stop, go inside and have a restaurant and eat.
One of the problems we've got is that the two places that these trucks load at here,
Uh-huh.
very little is loaded out of the mill. It's 250 east here to what the place we call Star Tuber, which is the OCTG pipe, downhole drilling pipe.
Mm-hmm.
The other one is right on around the corner. It's called A&A Coating, and they bring bare pipe in and put a coating on it, and it's line pipe.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not in Star Tubular by 2 o'clock in the afternoon, you load the next day. Okay?
Gotcha.
If you load out of A&A Coating and you're not checked in at the gate by 1 o'clock, you load tomorrow. I don't care if God's standing there talking to them. You can't. They won't load you. So those trucks they need a place to go. We don't have anything. There's no,
Don't you believe?
after 5 or
that's
6
possible?
o'clock, there's no place for them to even get anything to
We
eat.
have a marina with a motel, but it's difficult for these guys.
I saw it on the internet. I looked.
Trucks can't get down in there, so the guy's got to park up somewhere and walk all the way down. After 5 o'clock, there's no place, or 6 o'clock, whenever Arnold shuts down, there's no place for them to get anything to eat.
What time is Arnold's closed?
9. But trucks that come in here after 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock, they load tomorrow. So if you could find a place that had a parking lot for 50 trucks,
You put something like a
Clean it.
little house in there.
oh yeah, oh yeah. And there's a lot of trucks that come through here. And most of the trucks that, for example, flatbed, they're coming in here basically for 2 reasons. One, they're gonna load, and 2, they're headed northbound or southbound with the majority of it's pipe. A lot of lumber. A reefer, a refrigerated trailer is going to Pilgrim's Pride or JBS over here at Mount Pleasant to load chicken.
Mm-hmm.
Dry box, just through traffic. Probably going to Longview, someplace to load, or on into Shreveport or something like that. Dump trucks, I would consider those local.
Short haul.
Yeah, but there's only one place here, and the reason I asked about diesel, there's only one place for a Class A big truck to buy fuel, and that's Dangerfield.
Yeah.
And you can't even get in, half the time their pumps don't even work. So
Do they have
those
slave
local trucks,
units
those
on
local
those?
trucks have got to buy fuel somewhere. Tankers, a lot of tanker activity comes through here. The new Lone Star Specialties out here, the gentleman that just bought that business out is from Pryor, Oklahoma. And he's got tankers coming in here all the time.
Well, I'm on board. I'm with you on it.
Right, okay.
And they're fixing to probably expand that business.
Really?
Yeah, they make a byproduct of what they do out there. There's only 2 places in the United States that make it, and it's a crystal, kind of like a sheet of ice or something, black licorice or something like that, and it's real thin, and they crush it up and they take it to these plants.
Mitch, across the street from Lone Star Specialties, that used to be Turner Brothers or whatever. it
Arrow
was,
Trucking.
Arrow Trucking. Who owns that property?
I'm not sure, I think there's an individual that's living in it as his home, and he's got a couple of trucks in
Well,
his
there's
front.
quite a bit of property up there.
By the way, we just lost our 5 acres up here.
Oh, we did. Yeah,
So
someone-
who was it?
Roger Smith.
Roger Smith.
Roger.
But if they were to buy that one that way, They could probably negotiate with US Steel to buy some more land behind
You
it.
can negotiate with
US Steel.
Sorry, Randy. If you can negotiate with US Steel in anything less than 18 months to 24 months, you
Accomplish something.
You accomplish something.
Lily's right.
The only reason I looked at the core of the town, and here, and right next to the cemetery where that building is, but you got that trucking garage behind it.
Mhm.
But that's to be solved by saying, hey, would you like to have that trucking thing next to a truck lot? We need to move you, redo it. And
Bob, basically, we are open to just about anything you want to lead us in that direction or do.
Well, I look at it this way, if I control the truck stop coming in, I know who's coming in and they won't wipe me out on my gas across the street. They'll be a good competitor, but not cutting my throat
Well,
over there. Your gas is high out here.
Oh,
the
yeah.
old truck
Yeah,
stop.
always has been.
The old truck stop that was up here at the booth station.
Yeah?
If I remember right, when I grew up here, it did not cater to auto vehicles. It catered to trucks.
Yeah. It's
They don't
hard.
There was
it's
hard
only
to
one, maybe two gas pumps. The rest of it was diesel.
Here's the
You're right.
deal. When you
You're
put
right.
in 3 MP, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I just said he's right.
I put in 3 MPDs out here, burying a 20,000 gallon tank in another tank, and running that cable and doing all the electronics and everything, that's $300,000. Now, for each tank pump I add, it's only 15 to 20, depending on what it is. I'm still using the same electronics, I'm still using the same tanks and everything. So, but the slave units that you put with the diesel pumps in the back or to the side, for them that don't know, a slave unit is a secondary hose so they can fill on both sides. That's why they call it a slave unit, it feeds off that one pump. You put in 3 of those and you do that and run that to the back to location, I'm up to $400,000, $500,000 just for the fuel station on there.
I don't think, based on past experience with what was here, is that if a person had the opportunity to fuel at your place with a chicken and a convenience
I
store
tried to cross the street here.
versus a truck stop that caters to trucks, they're coming to you.
I think your truck people would like facilities that I can put in there, a shower, a place like that, a couple, they can come over here and do the laundromat 24 hours, right across the street here, but a huddle house or someplace that's keeping it 24 hours, it could be a good thing, but it has to be in a well-lit area that's very safe. And I was thinking this because you really don't want trucks tearing up your roads too much. And if you try to slow it down and give them a nice exit lane, where it's just for them there.
Well, let me give you another piece of information.
Yeah.
What's the sweepstakes place down here that just reworked it and was Mr. C's in that open pasture?
Oh, yeah.
There were probably 10 to 15 trucks that stayed there overnight, every night, and bought nothing.
Yeah.
You know, most of the truck stops in Houston that I'm familiar with, where my trucks used to stop, yeah, you come in here and you can spend the night tonight, but if you're back tomorrow night and the night after that, somebody's fixing to tag somebody, because you're taking up space and you're not buying anything. Now, the individual bought that building and turned it into a sweepstakes place. And I guess he told everybody they had to move. You couldn't park there anymore. Well, what'd they do? They moved up here on top of the hill, and I guarantee you they have no permission to park up there. Now there's 10 or 12 every night or every weekend just parking there. And with a spread axle trailer, when they're twisting and turning, they're tearing it up. Eventually, somebody's gonna say, you can't do that anymore, I promise you. So there, you know, that, we would be very blessed to have a truck stop in this city, I think. It's a trucking city.
Don't find the acreage, 5 to 7 acres, I'll find people to go in it for you. And they'll do it within a calendar year if you can find it. And I just like being involved. Like I said, I can control my competition a little bit. I really don't want some of the people that buy convenience stores from me. I don't see them as viable. I don't mean nothing derogatory towards things. I'm a country boy, born and bred in countryside. And there are certain buyers of stores and builders of convenience stores that just maybe don't understand exactly how to take care of a customer. And I know how to take care of a customer, and I know who to sell to that will know how to take care of that customer. And I find that. Now, is there, just not to change the subject, but I'm wondering, is there any thoughts about what I was proposing at the?
I was fixing to come back to that.
Yeah,
It sounds good to me.
I mean, is there something that I'm missing that y'all would
Bill,
like to
I
have?
would make a suggestion, and
Please.
you mentioned something about this 24-hour laundromats, that you've not been in that business before. My parents
No.
used to have one here.
They'll
a
get
long
broke
time ago.
into.
Well, actually, they didn't have it available 24/7, because, but we had attendants. You could do a drop-off service, and we would charge, to do your laundry, and then come back and pick it up or whatever. And the reason why we didn't leave it 24/7 is because people have a tendency to not take care of things. And so this way, if you had somebody there, I mean, it would be your business, you run it however you want to, but it's just a little word of advice, because the one that's over there next to the JR's in Dangerfield, I believe the Fosters didn't have that a year, and there's holes in the wall from those little carts that they push around to take your clothes from the washing machine.
But
or
I
one
would
of-
be willing
I mean-
to bet you a steak dinner that if you went to Mark Foster and said, Mark, you want to get rid of that washateria, and you
Yeah.
say absolutely not.
Yeah, he's stepping up, he shut the other one down in town, I mean, and he's still open.
He shut
But,
one
I
down.
mean-
But I mean, you gotta go.
Well, they had one lady come in and she let her kid get in the dryer, and my dad said, what? We don't let them get, I know, that's what happened to my dryer, that's why I'm up here, getting ready to use yours. And I'm like, well, so it's things like that, but that's just a.
We
word of
have
advice.
looked at that part that
Well,
you're
one
saying.
thing,
Correct.
I like kind of what you're saying, is, I'll be quite honest, of course, I'm sure they're making money, but to me today, of course, here's my complaints, but a lot of convenience stores are not convenience stores anymore. I mean, it used to, convenience stores, you run to get you a Coke and a tobacco or whatever, you's in and out and gone, and now, you gotta stand in line 10, 15 minutes, and somebody's buying gambling cards, and they don't
Okay.
have one attendant there, and I mean, sometimes, I had a meeting to go to, I just had to put my stuff back and leave,
What do you need from us?
If you could help me on the DOT on getting the cut in the middle of the block.
I will go to work on that in the morning.
Keep
I
in
think
mind
that
the turning
Devin,
radius. He'll ask you how big.
I think Devin has already made contact with the DOT office up here in Dangerfield.
See if you can get 30
30.
feet.
You're gonna have to deal with Atlanta.
That will accommodate the trucks with trailers and stuff.
Well, the first thing we do is just make contact with them and ask them. And if they say no, then we do the same thing that you've been accustomed to or
Bring
had
in
to
your
do.
state
Is
senators
we
and
go
your
get the
state
big
rep.
guns. This is a depressed area, and I will go see those people wherever they're at. And I will get the big guns in here, I promise you.
Well, you got the advantage if you do that, because the state of Texas mandate supersedes the DOTs. They want tax base, employment, and jobs. And when you come in, if I could come in and say, hey, I'm looking at 50 jobs here in this area here. I'm looking at a business tax base of things gonna be about a $1.5, $2 million circle. And I'm not even talking about the truck stop. This is something this town needs. You won't put in here a 30-foot cut, I'm not gonna build that.
You just
And
need
then
one
pressure.
30-foot cut or 2 30?
Just one. You put it right in the middle of the whole thing. And you've got one up by
I think you can get it.
the service station, and you got one on the
Yeah,
side
I've
street.
often wondered, you got that little merging lane by the service station, that's a dangerous place. They may have to go away from that, just come up to the red light, then take a left, I don't know, because I've seen a lot of the old
West
stations there in the past.
Same
Got
with trucks.
tight myself time through there.
You gotta look at that for trucks too. The
Yeah.
spot, they gotta get out in those lanes. If traffic's going 60 miles, 55
Yeah.
miles, nice stuff.
It's a real short merging lane, that's what gets you in trouble.
Yeah.
Randy, what do you think? Do we need a motion
To
to
help them
to proceed to help? Bob?
with DOT, tech stuff.
All right, I'm gonna, do I have a motion to proceed to?
I'll make a motion that we proceed to help Mr. Hawkins in inquiring what we need to do at the Atlanta Highway Department. Mitch is, I guess you're gonna contact
I'm gonna
them.
contact.
And,
I'm gonna start
and the
today.
request for the 30-foot entry into the Crump Shopping Center parking lot.
I'll answer questions.
Do you want to widen that into helping him do whatever we need to do about the other possible ventures?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm very confident in the city of Lone Star cooperating with me and getting done what I want done. I'm not asking for any tax abatements or considerations or anything like that. I'll stand on my own, take care of everything.
Done.
It's
We have a motion.
Second.
We have a second.
What was the help on the truck stop thing? What was that?
Find 5 to 7 acres. And with his approval, he says he will proceed with that.
There was a comment that he made earlier, we were talking about traffic counts. And he said for the sake of the investors, they really don't approve or not wholly confident in someone sitting making counts. And there's another method you can use where you lay the strips across the highway
I
and
did
24/7 you're getting info.
I did visit with Devin about that. She called me and indicated that there was some conversation about that. And in her request, I think, I may be corrected, but in her request for consideration for this 30-foot entrance, she asked them for an updated traffic survey.
I forgot that we talked about that, and that was in consideration of possibilities. But I went on the DOT site and I found it. So.
I think
So
she asked
everything
for
that you're
them.
asking for, you want it on Highway 259 within the city limits of Lone Star?
That's where your tax base is.
What if you had half and half?
Did you second that?
I did.
Half and half.
All those in
Like,
favor?
2.5 inside city limits, 2.5 out.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Good.
Let me give you numbers here for y'all to ponder, to maybe not, I don't think you need any more larger encouragement for this truck stop possibility. A place like that will pump somewhere between 200,000 to 300,000 gallons of diesel a month, based on traffic counts and the location and everything. And that usually equates out to inside sales of that store being somewhere with food between $100,000 and $150,000. That's all taxable sales.
Well, I can almost guarantee you if your numbers are conducive for Cox Logistics, their company policy is if a company truck comes into this town, they don't leave here without full tanks.
Like leaving Texas.
Well, most of our running in Texas, Oklahoma, and Louisiana, okay.
I did that store at Gainesville.
They don't leave here without full tanks, and each one of those trucks carries about 275 gallons.
I looked at a number of China, if you said 400 trucks, hoping to fill 100 for 100 gallons. They gave them 300,000 gallons per month. And if you knock your margins down, your diesel margins are higher because you pay so much more on the credit card and on those expenses that are on it.
I can't guarantee, but I would say that there's possibly still some influence that I can make. Of course,
Well, I think
it
you got a lot of
all
influence.
matters to the numbers. But their company policy is you don't leave, if you're driving a company truck, you don't leave here without full tank. And they turn, it's just like today, at least 30 trucks left here. So,
I think it's an exciting possibility.
yes. Okay, sir. Nice meeting you, and
Thanks for coming.
I appreciate y'all inviting me.
We're glad you.
just glad to put a face to the voice. Enjoyed the conversation we had there a couple of weeks ago, and I look forward to working with you.
Well, you didn't ask about timelines. You want those?
Yes.
Yes.
it's gonna take 90 to 120 days just to do the restaurant, and Chris has to move the liquor store out.
What do you know, see, I own the country club, and I buy all of my alcohol from Chris.
You can get a cost, but the state mandates a certain protocol to that, so they can't sell it to you for wholesale prices.
No, I mean, when would he be leaving? End of the year?
So whenever I tell him, he put me in charge of it.
Oh, Chris did?
Yeah, Chris.
And is he moving to Linden?
Well, that's where he'll put a lot of his stuff. He turned another town wet too, and he started going, there was some that just got inundated with several people coming and building liquor stores, and didn't want to get involved in that.
I've talked to Chris, and I know what he's facing.
Chris is a good
But I've
guy.
remained loyal to Chris because I've known him for so long, and other
He's a good
pictures,
guy.
he's
He's
a
really
good
good.
guy.
Yeah.
He's got a heart, and he's a Christian fellow that I really like. He's trying to talk me into hanging back as much as I can on my space allocations to see what happens in Spring Creek, so that if that thing goes down, and this town, 75% of the town feeds from that side road if they want to, coming up into the side of that property. I didn't realize that. Chris pointed that out to me. And that's one of the reasons Spring, whatever, is having a problem down there too. It's not on the regular route. But he's talking to me, he wants me to put in like 24 feet of perishables, which is like 12 feet of meat, 12 feet of produce, and then some dry boxes, and about 2 lines of grocery staples, so that if that goes down, people can come in here and get their stuff without paying convenience store prices for it. They can pay grocery store prices for it, like Chris has. That causes me to use another 2,000 to 3,000 square foot of the thing, and I need to be careful on that. You know, I let my alligator mouth over on my canary rear on that, thinking that was something I can't do.
Well, one thing I think,
Yes.
with Spring Branch, we use the same too. I mean, I live across the highway from it, but when they put it there, after Walmart pulled out, I really questioned it, because they've got a big store 4 miles up the road, basically.
Competing with themselves.
Yeah, they kind of, they got the same customers, but they just basically raised their overhead a little bit. To me, it's kind of like a convenience store for Brookshires, to me, you know, and they got one in Hugh Springs, and, you know, they're all pretty close to the major big store. And I know the major store pulls in a lot of people, so what we never could get people in this area to understand, if you get businesses like you're talking about, you'd be surprised how you pull people in, because I used to work over in Little Town Avenger quite a bit at the bank over there off and on, helping them, and when I go to, a lot of times, if I go to the big Brookshires in Nashville on a Sunday, I see a lot of people from Avenger in there. You know,
Okay.
because they come all the way up to buy their groceries there, so I think that's one thing that hurts is Spring Branch, plus what you're talking about.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to item number 5.2.
Bob, thank you.
Oh,
Please be in
we
touch,
good?
stay in touch, we'll do the same.
Sorry, I called you Andy.
Okay, no problem.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Bob.
Mr.
I got about
Manager.
2.5 hour drive, so I'm gonna go back.
Okay.
Thank you very
You
much.
say,
5.2, review and discussion of possible action item by the board to approve reimbursement of Mitch Cox for paying for traffic survey in the amount of $750.
I move that we do that.
Yeah, I'll second that.
Okay. all
Now,
those-
as I understand it, that goes to the council for their approval.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to go to the council.
I mean, it's not that big a deal. but
This was when he sat and had the,
That's what these numbers are.
Yeah.
yeah. All those in favor? Aye. Those opposed?
Should ask for discussion
Well, I
first.
should have, but I don't think anybody had any discussion.
Aye.
Is there any?
Is there any discussion? None?
Nope.
All those in favor? Aye. Those
That's
opposed?
the original, but I don't have a copy of it.
Okay, it passes.
Okay.
All right.
That's me. Oh,
I got a question. Did you ever take that trip to Pennsylvania?
not yet. Not yet. I got a couple things on my agenda that I've got to get done. One is Randy's provided me with some names, and I really don't anticipate that happening until after the first of the year.
We want to go ahead and approve whatever expenses that.
We
Well,
can't do that since it's not on the agenda, kind of out of order.
Okay. 5-3, review, discussion, possible action by the board concerning possible future projects for the Economic Development Corporation. Felipe, right at the end of the last meeting, you suggested something about.
Yeah, I'm looking into that.
Okay, you're looking on that. Last year, we approved some money for Christmas decorations. And
Not just the ones that purchased those, but
No,
there
this
were
is,
some to
in
fix
separate,
the
yeah.
ones that we had. It's already set aside.
we'll be shortly in the next couple of weeks, starting as I briefed last month, taking off all the old lights that are not working off the metal stars and putting new lights on. Carl, the question is, we didn't use all that money last year. Do we have to do that again?
Probably need a little more anyway, right?
Yes.
I would
We're
just
go-
say,
I thought we set aside like about $1,000 or something like that to buy new
use,
Christmas
how much,
lights.
500 or
No, we
To
didn't.
rewire.
300 or 100?
I think it was close, it's somewhere in the range of 200 is all.
If-
Oh, is that all?
Yeah, it wasn't a lot.
Maybe it was.
I would just say, here's what we think we need,
Amended.
plus, whatever's in the account.
All right, I need
We
an
don't
emotion.
No, we don't have that on the agenda, so we can't do that.
Yeah, we do. It's
Possible.
future
Future
projects.
deal.
Oh, okay.
That falls.
Do I have a motion to spend some money for Christmas decorations for 2017?
How much?
And I need an amount.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, what's the amount?
We're going from that little bitty miniature light to a C7.
Do you know how much they, or are you gonna buy
Hey,
them like
I'm
a
gonna
50
buy 'em.
foot or 100-foot roll?
I'm going to buy,
100-foot?
my people gave me, I think they measured one and they told me the length of what it would
Yeah,
take and I forgot it.
Those gonna be LCD lights?
Yes.
Give us a number. I move that we approve.
Let's see, we've got what,
So then we just need a
27?
number because.
2,500,
Alright.
and that's high.
Yeah,
Yeah, we probably won't spend on
that's okay.
So I need a motion to,
You have enough for next year, we're gonna spend it this year.
well, they will be completely rewired. We're gonna strip the old ones down completely and get rid of those little ones. They'll be secured by zip ties, and they will be brighter, and they'll last a lot longer.
I move we approve 25.
Second,
that.
all those?
Wait a second.
Okay.
Wait a second.
Anybody got anything else on future projects?
Who was the second over there?
I did.
Mona.
Okay, did everybody get their copy? Have they had a chance to look at the action line?
No, I haven't had a chance to look at it, but I do have it.
Okay, well, before our next meeting, let's all look at that. So we can, the action line initial findings and recommendations.
I gave everybody a binder
Yeah.
in the green, and what's the, I can't remember the title of that. Who prepared that?
Lynn,
No, I mean I got it offline from where, on the front of it, Mike. In the little pouch on the front of the,
Oh.
no, on the front of the binder.
Close it.
What does that say?
City of Lost Star Economic Development Board.
Texas Comptroller.
Yeah, Texas Comptroller.
I have
Yeah.
since came into possession of the Texas Municipal City, and it's about that thick, and we did not get that printed, but it carries it a little bit further than that right there.
Okay.
Now, we also, can I bring up the deal about Rudy's request to move the, because it is.
Sure, we didn't need to do anything action-wise on that other action line?
other than we just need to read it.
Can't make a motion to force somebody.
No, we just need to look it over.
Yeah, it's kind of like Obamacare.
Okay.
Read it.
Don't go there.
Don't want to vote for it, but I mean.
Don't go there.
It's recommending
It was when it was
members.
presented to us, we need to read it and
Okay.
decide what we're gonna do about it.
Oh,
I did get a phone call from him, he said, have you had a chance to look at it? And I'm like,
How can you when you get it at the meeting? I mean, you already get it right at the meeting. so.
our sixth and newest board member, Rudy Dudley, is a coach at Pewitt.
Yeah,
And he has a conflict with meeting on Monday nights because he has volleyball games on Monday night. He is asking if we can consider, as long as, I'm assuming it's just volleyball.
Wednesday would be great, yeah. as long as-
Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday.
Well,
Thursday's a bad night for me.
Tuesday's not gonna be good here because of fire meeting,
Oh,
but
that's
Wednesday.
Wednesday,
Could we
Could
move
we
the
move a little
meeting,
early?
can we move the meeting to Wednesday night?
We could do it on Tuesday, but you run too long.
if we do it Wednesday, like let's say 5:30 on the 1st of November is a Wednesday.
A night to accommodate our newest board member, Rudy Dudley,
Wednesday.
for a period of time until he gets through volleyball,
Wednesday, November
and then we go back to our regular
1st.
first
Day
night.
after trunk or treat.
Huh?
It's the day after trunk or treat.
What, this next one?
If we do it on Wednesday the 1st, the 31st is October Halloween, we have our trunk or treat.
What are you telling me not to do it on Wednesday?
No, let's do it on Wednesday. I mean,
The next,
Wednesday's
I need a motion to move the November,
I'll make a motion that the next EDC meeting will be November 1st, Wednesday. Do we want to meet at 5:30 or?
let's leave it at 6. It's kind of
Yeah.
hard for me to get
Okay.
away.
6 is
6
good.
o'clock.
November the 1st,
Yeah.
it's 6.
Yeah.
That's the next meeting.
We have a motion to have a second.
I'll second.
All right, Mike seconds it. All those,
Who made the
Aye.
motion?
I made the
Same.
motion.
I'm entertaining item number 6.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second.
All those,
Aye.
we are adjourned. Very excited about that guy right there.
Yeah, he seems to.
Thank you.
I'm very
Seems to
excited.
know, he seems to know his business.
Do what,
I
Coach?
said thank you.
Oh, that guy right there.
Oh,
Excuse me.
Well, that one.
Well,
too.
I am
That one
excited
too.
about
That
you,
one
Cody.
too. That one too. You gotta
At
make
what
more-
level we need to have a
Who was the
different
second on
person?
the
You know, you need to kick a chair around the chair once in a while so we know you're still back there.
The adjournment, I believe.
Okay, Mike was also the second on the next meeting?